Hey, what's up, Sooner Nation? Welcome back to the Sooner Surge Double Trouble Nightly Sooner Talk. 2 nights away from the Sooners versus the Arizona Wildcats. They're in San Antonio, 8:15 kickoff. Jay joins us live from out of town. Hunter is in San Antonio. He was at the rally earlier tonight, but thanks a lot for being on here already, guys. And let's go ahead and get started in the chats. Sooner fan already talking about NIL up at Missouri. It didn't surprise me that McClellan went there, Jay. I want to answer Bobby's question really quickly. Is Anton Junkad's last offer we have? He is the offer we have as a defensive lineman right now. Is he the last one? I don't think he'll be the last one, Jay. You had the Purdue guy that hit the portal today. He's unbelievable. Whether or not OU offers him, we'll see, Jay.
Yeah, and you also have we saw the news today with McClellan. He's gone to Missouri. That's done with. No more. So that's rule that out. You got McKinley as a possibility still, like Daryl says, for the new cycle, which would be February, probably when that would happen if it happens. And other than that, you got the Albany guy, you got the Purdue guy. I think I see a lot of people talking about McClellan. Jeremy, not shocked at all by that, are you?
Well, I knew OU was a possibility. They offered him, but the fact that he hadn't pulled the trigger on that yet, even after the Colorado and Missouri visit, it's not shocking that he ends up at Missouri. I think, as someone said, have you watched the tape on this Albany kid? The Albany kid is unbelievable, guys. His tape is unbelievable. And the other thing that's unbelievable is his size. You got him and you got the Purdue guy as probably the top edge guys that are out there. I don't think OU would go after both. Now, whether they could land both or not, I think they're going to maybe get one of those guys is what their goal would be, Jay. Nick Scorton is the guy's name. He's 6'4". He's 280 pounds. He led the Big Ten in sacks, I think, with 10. Albany kid had 15 sacks. Of course, it was not against great competition. So there you go. There's what you got to weigh it in.
Yeah, like Hunter says, watch tape on Twitter. And I think he's talking about both guys. They're both really good. Brian says, look, the Albany kid could get more for less dollars. We'll see it. Hey, the McClellan thing, a lot of people are talking about the bag that maybe Missouri dropped. OU's not going to overpay for a player like McClellan. And I think that's probably what it came down. They didn't want to pay as much as Missouri was going to pay for him, right?
Hey, I agree.
Isn't that probably what it was?
Yes, I agree with that, Jay. And I'm going to answer Sooner fan here real quick. Negative Nancy, Sooner fan. Hey, it's fine to be negative, Sooner fan. There is a reason he was at Albany. Let me explain the reason right now. First off, in high school, he played a lot of quarterback. And they recruited him, I think, not as an edge rusher. He developed into that when they saw his body. Had he might have played edge in high school, he might have been highly recruited. He was a quarterback out of high school and played some tight ends some. I mean, the guy, after the transition to defensive end, has been very good. And Jared Verse was a similar story. And Jared Verse is going in the first round of the NFL draft, guys. Just saying.
What about today? We saw the news of LV Bunkley Shelton. Jeremy, you've been kind of hinting about this for a couple weeks. And based on what Hunter was saying with this new transfer, they were waiting on basically a ruling, I guess, because it was their second transfer. So are you thinking they probably had already talked to coaches that they were entering? They were waiting for this time period for that to happen?
Yeah, that's what it looks like, because I think Bunkley Shelton has been probably wanting out of Dodge for a while. And maybe even a couple more. And I said a few days ago, the 100% chance OU's losing a receiver, and people dogged me on here, but whatever. It is interesting. You got 3 guys now in San Antonio that have hit the portal, but he needed to move on, as Mez says. He's a guy that, for him, I think we said this maybe last night or on the video earlier, he needs to take care of him, and he's not going to get on the field, Jay. He had zero chance of playing next year.
Does he play in the bowl game?
Absolutely not.
Punt return? He's the backup.
He didn't play this year. Why are you playing him in the bowl game? He didn't play this year.
I'm just saying, do you think he plays?
No, he didn't play this season, Jay. What the heck's wrong with you? Hey, someone talked about the UNLV offense. Yeah, Seth Luttrell. Hey, can we talk about Seth Luttrell? I know he's the graphic for the live tonight. Listen to me. If you watch the Alamo Bowl game press conference today, How can you not love Seth Luttrell?
Jeremy, I think most OU fans would love him, but
Well,
he's
I'm
got
not criticizing. I'm saying, how can you
he
not love this guy?
he's got to produce though, and that's what everyone's going to be waiting to see is how well can he do. And somebody said earlier about UNLV, yeah, UNLV's offense. I think maybe we were all kind of throwing that name around there earlier this year, but I think what they did with Seth Luttrell and Joe John is going to be a home run. I do, and
And
it makes it a lot easier when you have a guy like JFA back there. And this handoff they're doing to JFA from DG it's like you're the next golden child. Here it is. I mean, they're really pumping this transition, and I
yeah.
love it.
And Daryl Revel says, program guy. That's what Hunter called this graphic on the live. And listen, the thing is about Seth Luttrell, Sooner fan dropped it in the chat, the quote. He's been wanting to get back here for 23 years. I mean, what you have in Joe John Finley and Seth Luttrell are guys that wholeheartedly want to be here. They're not using this just as a stepping stone. And the bowl game, like I think Hunter dropped in the chat, is not going to be Seth Luttrell's final product. Let's remember that. I think we'll see some nuances. Yeah. It's not going to be final product for sure.
Jeremy, and hearing Seth Luttrell talk today, we talked about this when they first hired him. I think he could be here for a long time. And the way he talked, he didn't. I mean, he kind of said dream job just to coach at Oklahoma. He may be around for 10 years being the OC. I don't know if he's going to want to go to head coach. I don't know that
he wants to move up to head coach ever.
He might.
I think he's perfect. Basically, Jay, here's what he said in that presser. I've been clawing, scratching, doing everything I can to get back to OU. I don't think he's going anywhere unless he was going to be the next coach of Oklahoma. Otherwise, I think he's here forever till he wants to leave.
That's right. What's up, Lori? How are you?
Retire.
Hey, Jackson Arnold's going to be the real deal. Voice, and here's the thing. I hate to even mention DG's name again because he's gone, but Jackson Arnold's leadership is going to be more vocal than DG. I think DG was a great leader behind the scenes with the team, but I think Jackson Arnold's going to be more like Baker Mayfield, where he's going to be out loud and proud all the time.
Yeah, and as Hunter says, Hunter's there. Yeah, Danny Stutzman started the Jackson Arnold chant, and I'm sorry, guys. If there's, I'm not gonna. I might step on toes. I don't know that they do that with DG. Whatever. There's an aura about Jackson Arnold. Whether you say, well, whatever, he's a threat. There is an aura about him. Has been since he was an elite high school guy. There's something different about him. You can kind of tell it. I'm excited to see it.
Hey, let's address this. I'm a little confused by it as well because, I mean, we all know Ole Miss is dropping. They're having a great portal, okay? But in McClellan, yeah, maybe OU didn't want to overpay, but okay, we haven't heard about Vandermark from Michigan State, okay? Where's the Albany guy? I mean, at what point do you think OU's going to get another transfer? When's that going to happen down the road? I mean, I don't think it's going to happen before the bowl game. Do you?
I do, but I've said that
before the bowl game.
Yeah, I do think it's going to happen.
That's 2 days from now.
I can count, Jay. I know what day the 28th is. Corey, we did have a good Christmas. Hope you did as well.
When are they going to get a guy?
Jackson has the it factor. Sooner Legends says.
Jeremy,
Mike says.
When are they getting a guy?
Tomorrow, Jay. Let's go tomorrow. Did you think Bunkley Shelton would announce at San Antonio? That's kind of odd.
No, he didn't announce. He didn't announce, did he? I thought he plans to.
Oh, I thought he entered the portal.
I thought it was a plans to enter the portal, but.
Oh, I thought he entered the portal. My bad. Well, all I can say is he gone. That's all I say. He out.
Okay, he did enter. Okay.
Yeah, I mean.
Okay, he gone.
Yeah. What would he say at the hotel?
I think there's a good chance Woody's coming back.
Oh,
don't you?
I do too.
Yeah, I think it's official too, Joe C.
David, you are absolutely correct. Here's the issue though. I don't think we're going to see him rushing on Thursday night with the backup quarterback situation. I could be wrong, guys.
No, but did you see a couple of videos him rolling out
Oh,
they're going to
unbelievable. His
roll him.
arm strength, dude.
They're going to roll him out a lot, I think.
Oh, a lot.
I think that's going to be one of the wrinkles that Seth Luttrell does.
Look, I saw one highlight on Instagram, OU Instagram today. And what was interesting about it is he rolled out to the right, and you could see he went to his second read.
How could you see that from that video?
As he was rolling out, he looked here, and then he looked across the middle of the field and threw it, Jay. That's how.
So his eyes are in the back of him now, because that video is from behind.
Go back. You guys don't even know what you're talking about. Go back and watch it. Someone on the chat right now, go back and watch the Instagram. He looks here, and then he looks here. It's obvious he went to his second read. It's probably Jay. That's how you practice progressions. This isn't rocket science. You do this every day at practice. Go to your second read. Go to your third read. What? Wow.
Hey, I love Arnold.
I can't believe you guys don't think that they're working on progressions. Every quarterback does it.
Jeremy.
Goodness.
But you have the tendency when you really love a player to really see things sometimes that aren't there. And I'm not saying you're doing that with Arnold. I'm just saying you do have a tendency. Come on, admit it.
What are you? I don't even know what you're. Why are you even talking about this?
I mean,
Gabriel's weakness was he didn't progress. Look through the progressions. I think Arnold's going to be like that. That's all I'm saying.
Joe says his head stays perfectly still on that rollout.
And he went to his second read.
Maybe he did, Jeremy.
Braden agrees.
Braden,
his head moves.
Braden, whatever Jeremy says, you're going to agree with, buddy. I know you, Braden. You're going to agree with everything he says.
Richard doesn't like the rollout.
No, it's good if you use it the right way. Okay.
Mahomes did really well at the rollout.
Yeah, I mean, you can. If you're looking to throw it deep, it's usually not on a rollout, but on that quick screen stuff, I'd rather have that than that backwards pass all day.
Yeah, I mean, he's running a lot of jet sweeps tonight. Short stuff.
Hey, do you think Hester's leaving too?
I don't know. There's a lot of people who say Hester really just loves being around the program and being there. He's already transferred once.
Well, so had Shelton. That was the holdup. Jeremy, you got mentored. You're mentors to people, man.
I do what I can, Mike. I do what I can.
Feel? How does that feel?
Sooner Surge is right. He's a 918 guy, so.
That's true. I mean, that's a good point.
I mean, he's not playing. He's not going to play. Special teams, maybe. I think the biggest thing for OU right now is you got to have the momentum after Thursday night, going to the SEC. You got to play well Thursday night. I'm still interested on the O-line. I'm still interested because it doesn't matter how good Arnold is. If you can't protect, you can't do much.
Hey, let me say this.
Hunter, put it.
Let me say this.
Put it in the chat.
Let me say this, Daryl. I agree with this. Okay, I think after next year, there's going to be OU fans, and quite a bit of them that are going to be like, "Man, if Arnold would have played the year before," I think there's going to be a lot of people say that. Don't you, Jeremy?
I'll be one of them.
Man, if only. I mean, I think he's going to be that.
I'm going to say it probably during the bowl game. I've already been saying it all year. He should have played this year.
Okay, he's the most hyped quarterback, obviously, since Caleb Williams. But before Caleb Williams,
Spencer Rattler was hyped.
But before that, who was it? Recruit, not a transfer.
Probably Bomar. Jay, there's that link.
Sucked.
Someone watch it and see if you can see him look to the flat and then look to the middle more. He goes flat and then he goes kind of angle diagonal. Probably a second read, a receiver coming across. First read is probably a short, flat tight end. No, what are you talking about, Lori?
No, OU's going to kick ass. Sorry, I mean I just was going off for a comment.
Wow, Jay,
it's going to be the other way. I was reading the comment. My bad. I'm going off opposite of what Lori's saying.
Yeah. Hey. Okay, Mez is saying the same thing. He does go through his two progressions in that video. One outside look off, second inside pass in the middle. I mean, I know a little bit about football.
You do know a little bit.
You guys criticized me when all I said was, all I said was, all right, Jay, you can't even talk. You're so quiet, it's ridiculous. Scared you're going to wake someone up.
Whatever, dude. That's bull. Hey, Ashik, let's go to Ashik here. Hope you had a good Christmas. I'm loving the JFA hype, but I'm wondering if we saw something new recently, or is this all stuff we knew about before? Listen, I think you're just seeing more of him in the public persona now. You didn't see a whole lot of it during the season because it was DG. I mean, that was kind of his team. Now the transition has happened. It's Jackson Arnold's team, and you're seeing more videos. You're seeing more him with the microphone. I think it's just that, right?
Yeah, and look, I think everyone knew this, and I think even the staff knew how great of a chance he had to be really good. It was just
Yeah.
there was that written, hey, this is DG's year, period. You're going to learn under DG.
I think the most important thing about this game is I'm excited to see him. Okay, yeah, his play, whatever, but I want to see his leadership of the team on the field. Maybe it's in the huddle, it's on the sideline, whatever. Maybe that's something we really haven't seen other than the BYU game where he kind of came in and made some big time fourth quarter throws, but we don't really see it to start a game.
Hey, two things I want to get. I agree with that too, Jay. David says, do we think Daniel Akinkunmi plays next year? I mean, I don't know. He's so fresh and raw. He's going to be in the States, I think, 2 days from now, playing in the, is it the Under Armour that he's in or one of those? And then he's going to be on campus. I want to go back to, I think it was Rob, Hunter, if you can find Rob's comment. But Rob was talking about OU's not going to play this game, this NIL battle game. And I agree with you, Rob, because of if you want your culture to be lined up, right, down the middle, here's what we do. We can't play those NIL battles if that's not what we're about. I think now they're going to fork over some money, but they're not going to get into those battles, I don't think, because that doesn't really fit Venable's culture style here, that one player is bigger than the team or anything like that. So I do think that.
Dude, I got a big old animal out here behind me.
What is that comment about Arnold can't read defenses?
I don't understand what that meant, but I think they were maybe being
think Arnold
sarcastic.
can read defense. I said DG couldn't.
Hey, Joe C., pay the players that have produced. That's what you have to do. It's got to be an NFL base where you're basing it off performance. You can't just go get a guy from the portal. Maybe he's got a value. Okay, this is what he's valued at. But until he produces, you can't just go drop everything at for him. I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think they're going to do that. OU's not going to do that. You cannot change your whole thinking to get one guy. I mean, with Caden Green, they offered what he wanted. He wanted to go higher. They said no, or he left for more money. You can't just throw it all away for one or two guys. I think Ole Miss is paying a lot for a few guys. Now they're getting them. We'll see. Is that going to translate to wins on the field though? I don't know if Ole Miss is going to be any better than 12 than they are this year, right? Are they ever going to get to that next level?
Until they do, I won't believe it, Jay. I'll believe it when I see it. Okay. The other thing I'll believe when I see is, as Richard says, the depth chart. I'll believe it when I see those guys trot out there, because I think the depth chart has been wrong a lot this year, and I don't agree with everything on there right now. I don't agree with Tolly Walker as the backup running back. I don't agree with Caleb Schaefer maybe as a starting left side. I don't know. There's some I just don't believe. Hey, Crystal, that's hilarious. Yeah, and he's making a lot of money.
Hey, Jason's right here. Good name, by the way, Jason. Defense got to play better than they played down the stretch. It just got out of hand there a little bit on big plays, man. Got to be better.
Got to be better. Yeah, Evan Stewart trending Ole Miss. Someone dropped in the look. I am so tired of Sooner fans about, hey, Evan Stewart going to come to OU. No, he's not. He's not going to OU. OU's loaded in the receiver room. Stop it.
But is he a fit? Is he a fit anyway?
No, they already have their guys. It's exhausting sometimes.
How much? I mean, he's a fit. What, Hunter? Okay, whatever, Hunter. I mean, that's your opinion, and
if he's a fit, they're not going after him, so they're not offering him. I promise you.
Hey, how is Ole Miss getting everybody? What do you think it is? You think it's purely NIL?
I think they've gained traction in two things. I think that they gain traction, and obviously the recruits that they're getting, the portal guys. And so obviously the money is there. Second of all, I think there's this perspective, not perspective. I think what the narrative is that they're telling these guys is not only can you come here and get some money, the SEC, they're going to get 3 or 4 teams every year in the playoff.
I think,
and we're going to have a chance to be one and go compete with Bama and Georgia. No longer do you have to beat Bama and Georgia to make it to the playoff. I think that's the narrative everyone, Missouri included.
You stole my thunder. That's what I was going to say is you basically have, look at this year, they would have made the playoff top 12. They were right there. So they can now say that, and we get a few more guys, and you're one of them. Come play here. We'll give you a good NIL package. It's a great atmosphere, and we can make the playoff. But I agree with Chief T-Bird. They're in the A&M 2.0. And I'll say this right now. Ole Miss, I'm pretty confident saying they'll never win a national championship.
And you may very well be right on that, Jay. I think Lane Kiffin's a good coach. I don't know if he's one of the greats. We'll see this year. He's got the dudes now. Let's see what happens. Listen, the other thing is Ron is saying that OU is going to have to change the NIL policy. Like, I don't even know what their policy is, Ron, but I don't think OU has to change. I mean, with Caden Green, they met the number he wanted. They met it. That's the word. They met that. So, I don't know. We also know that Stutzman and Bowman coming back, there was probably some money involved there.
Ron, why are you saying – I'm confused on what you're saying there. You don't think they have a good enough NIL package? They're top 10 NIL. I mean, what are you concerned about? The way they're doing NIL, is that what it is? The way they're you don't think they're going to throw money at one guy? Or let me just throw this scenario. Is there a guy or two they really want and they're just holding out for him? I mean, we don't know that that's not true.
No, and that's the thing. Look, and the Purdue guy, right? The Purdue guy, I would love to get him. He's an elite edge. He's not the middle of the D-line like you really want, but I would love to have the edge guy. Deion Burks, obviously Deion Burks knows the guy. He played on the same team as him.
Jay, I agree with this, and NIL was never meant for a bidding war. NIL is not meant for a bidding war for players. That's not what NIL is supposed to be. It's supposed to be name, image, likeness. It's not supposed to be bidding wars to get somebody to come to your school. That's what's wrong with NIL in the first place. NIL should be on performance-based, or maybe here's what I think. I was talking to somebody about this today. Offensive line for let's just use that for an example. To me, every offensive lineman should get a base same amount. If you're better and you have better performance, then you get a better amount. You know what I mean? And I think you got to have a base for everybody. And then if you're better, you get more. And it's based on performance. But you can't just go say, I'm going to bid $2 million to get this guy to my school. That's going to run. And I think Ole Miss is doing great. But culture-wise, I don't know if it's going to work, man. I don't.
Yeah. Hey, Crystal.
Crystal, you're awesome.
You are awesome. And not only
what a quote, too.
Not only do you give the 25 super, we appreciate it so much. Merry Christmas to you, too.
Hey, Crystal, drop your email. Send us an email at ousportsroundup@gmail.com.
Hey,
love to get back with you on.
Didn't Home Alone win the movie thing? And she quotes Home Alone, which is great. Thanks so much, Crystal. Hey, Nick Scorton is the Purdue edge. That would be really good. But I want to get to Chief T-Bird dropping a good one here. Talented, but me guys, not team guys. And I do think that Venables and staff, Venables and company, are trying to match those pieces of the puzzle out of the portal. They want the guys that are obviously very talented, but they also want the guys that are going to make that chemistry. Venables was here in 2000 when they won the Natty. That team was chemistry-wise, that was the big reason they won. Now, I know things have changed in 24 years or whatever. Chemistry plays a role in a lot of teams' championships. I will say that.
Yeah, and there's no fix for NIL right now. It's just going to get out of hand. But it's going to be a fine line between culture and NIL. You got to have a little bit of a balance there.
Yeah, I agree. It's Coach Odom. look, if they were to get rid of Roof, I know Roof was in the presser today, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he sounded like he's ready to coach another 10 years.
Well, yeah, he's an elite speaker.
No,
I
I
think they
mean
should
he
roll him to analyst. Roll him to analyst and bring in Odom would be
he ain't
great.
he ain't going anywhere, Bo. As they say on Wolf of Wall Street, I ain't leaving.
I didn't say he's leaving. They can move him to analyst. Thor, I agree. You have to have both. You have to have a solid thing of both, but I do think they have talent. And look, who are we mad at the OU didn't get out of the portal? Walter Nolan would be my big one.
Well, you can't say that because me and you both sat here when McClellan entered the portal and said, "That's a guy you got to get."
Oh, I thought so because he's in your backyard, but maybe they're going to get someone better. If Hicks drops tomorrow night,
Yeah, I agree with
LV
this right here.
Overton
And McClellan.
Do what?
I agree with that. I agree with those two names right there.
Well, if you get Hicks and McKinley, you're exactly where you need to be.
I agree, but you don't know. I think there's a better chance of McKinley than Hicks. But
and you are right, Thor. The main position group right now that OU is missing is that. But I will say this: Nigel Smith, Jaden Jackson are those guys in the future. Now, if you could get a guy who's a senior this year that could come in for a year and is elite, or even a guy for 2 years, that'd be great. But I think Nigel Smith and Jaden Jackson are going to be there in 2 years. They're going to be the guys. And David Stone, I even mentioned Stone.
Let me ask you this, because you can see it by OU's recruiting class the last 2 years. They've done very well in recruiting. Look at D-line, especially well. Why do you think they've done better in recruiting than they have in the portal with big-name guys? How would you answer that? Let me tell you.
I don't know how.
Here's how I would answer. Here's how I would answer. I think the portal is more NIL based than recruiting. I think recruiting you have an aspect, but recruiting you have relationships that you've built with guys. Portal, you may not even know this guy very much, and you're offering him to come to your school. You see what I mean? Recruiting, it may be a year or two process. You've built that tight relationship. You don't get that in the portal. It's basically you're bidding on a guy.
I agree. And Sooner fan, I wholeheartedly agree with you here. What we're talking, Danny Okoye is that dude. He's an edge, though. And both the guys that OU's offered, the guy from Albany, Young is an edge. And Nick Scorton out of Purdue is an edge. Now, I would love to have both of those guys because that's 25 sacks combined. But I don't want to have both those guys if I have to sacrifice not getting a guy in the middle, if that makes sense. And there was, as someone just said, Joe C., the lack of pressure from the edge absolutely killed OU. They couldn't beat guys one-on-one on the edge.
Hey, and Tyler, I love that point, and I would be all for a college if they could set it up where if you're at the same school in your third year or fourth year, you get a big stipend because you've stuck it out. I don't know how you do it, but you got to reward those guys. I know, obviously, OU's probably rewarded Stutzman and Bowman pretty good for coming back, but you got to make it where these guys that can stay there 3 or 4 years, that's how you're going to build an outstanding program, is if you have consistency and you're not going in the portal. That's one thing I can't pick Ole Miss because, guys, every year they get a bunch more players on the portal. I mean, you got chemistry to deal with, you got culture, you're getting a guy for 1 year and then they maybe go in the NFL. It's a lot, I think, to do it in the portal. I think it's got to be more high school recruiting based, a little bit out of the portal.
And that may be the formula, Jay. Thor, you're right. Ford had 0 sacks, as many as I did. Rondell Bothroyd, 0 sacks. Okay. Downs had the most sacks, but it's got to change. It's got to get better. And you're right, Johnny. Hicks is going to chase the money too, probably. Sounds like that's what it's going to be. So I look, and Joe C., I've also looked up Hicks' stats. They weren't killing it as a freshman. I agree. Now he does have the size. He was that guy out of high school. I don't know if you can take anything from A&M at all.
Agreed. I agree with that. Somebody put in there Hicks stats. You can't. Hicks didn't play a whole lot. You can't tell much from that.
Yeah, you can't. And look, everyone's going to be after Hicks. I don't see how Missouri or Ole Miss can land him.
I agree.
I mean, and to me, it's opening the door up for McKinley if OU doesn't have those guys.
Hey, I would love to know in the chat. I think I already know the answer, but look what Missouri's doing. Look what Ole Miss is doing. How many guys on here are going to pick Missouri or Ole Miss to win the SEC? I bet zero.
Probably zero.
Yeah.
Hey, tomorrow we've got to talk this game because
on.
Thursday's game day.
That's right.
Tomorrow the entire live. We probably won't even talk Portal tomorrow night. We got to talk this game that's going to happen in 2 nights. Jay, are we ready for a trivia?
Yeah, ready for trivia. Sorry, there's an animal out here, dude. I don't even know what this thing is.
Get us on the camera. Let me see it.
It's too dark. It might be a raccoon. Okay.
Is it on your deck?
No, it's kind of out by underneath. Hear it. Okay, here we go.
Get the flashlight on it. Let's see it. The viewers want to see it, Jay.
Here, it might be a possum or it could be a porcupine too. It's not very big. Okay, here we go. First trivia. I'm going to go back to the game nobody wants to talk about. Georgia, Oklahoma Rose Bowl. Who was the quarterback for Georgia in that game? Do you know it, Jeremy?
Yes, I do.
First one to drop into the chat.
Someone's going to get this right off the bat.
You think?
Yes. He's in Florida.
Hey, it's not a Coyote.
It was not Stetson Bennett.
Not Bennett, although he's played forever. It's not him.
There it is, a Sheik. A Sheik is going to narrow the standings, dude. A Sheik narrows the standings.
You're catching up. You're right behind Sooner Fan.
Gaining traction on Sooner Fan.
No, it's not a chicken, the hub. It's not a chicken, bro. I
Jay's
think it's
scared. Jay is scared right now.
I am a little scared. It's right over here, man.
Hey, do you think it was not JT Daniels either? Do you think Hicks enters the portal after the game, like immediately following the game?
I think he will?
Yeah.
That's tomorrow night.
Yeah. Hey, you get to watch him against OSU. I hope he eats OSU up. I hope he eats Ollie Gordon's just all day long. So, Hunter, you don't think he's going to enter the portal then?
So Hunter doesn't.
Shocking.
It's not Sasquatch. It's not that big. Hunter doesn't think he's in the portal. This thing's
here's
about
what you got to understand.
This thing's about the size of a squishmallow. You know what I'm talking about?
I know what a squishmallow is, Jay. Are you scared?
It's wobbling around out there. I can't see if there's hair on it or what this thing is.
Crystal thought it was a trick question, Jay. It was too easy.
What, Jacob Fromm?
Yes.
Oh, I got a harder one for you. You want me to give you a harder one? Let's drop another one.
Bring it.
Bring you another one here. All right.
I do think Saban might get his number 8.
I'm gonna go a little bit of a Alamo trivia. How about this? Alamo trivia. How long did the Alamo defenders hold off the Mexican army? Jeremy, do you know it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you 4 choices. No, I'm not giving you choices.
No, don't give choices.
You gotta figure this out. How long?
Any history buffs in here? Are there any history buffs?
How long did the Alamo defenders hold off the Mexican army? Not 45 days.
Not
5 days. No.
Someone's got to Google it real quick. There it is.
There it is. Daryl. Good job, Daryl. I think Daryl was first. Check it out, Hunter. I think Daryl might have been the first one.
Hey.
Good job, Daryl.
Hey, so let's get to a little bit of this game, I think. Is there anyone you expect Thursday night that we just haven't seen a lot of that we're going to see a lot of? Haven't seen a lot of, but we will see a lot of. Or anyone we've seen a lot of that we won't see a lot of. How about that?
I'll say this. I would either look for 2 guys. I would either look for Josh Fasuni, tight end, or Cade McIntyre, tight end. One of those 2 tight ends.
No.
Yep, I cannot pronounce his name, but one of those 2 tight ends, I think you might see more of. And when I say it, I'm saying I think they might get a couple catches.
Hey, is Emeka even at the game?
I'm not sure.
He's not even on the depth chart.
Lane says Jackson Arnold, JFA.
Well, of course, yeah. There
Brennan
you go.
Thompson's a good one. Brennan Thompson's a good one.
Yeah, we haven't seen
So,
a lot of JA,
hey,
but we will. I should have prefaced that, Lane, with outside of Jackson Arnold.
Hey, Jeremy, tell me this.
Do you think Emeka's going to play, Hunter?
No chance. Hey, Jeremy, you've coached football before. I know it's flag football, but tell me this. If you have a guy, and you coach track, Brennan Thompson, his track speed, best in football. I mean, he's unreal, right?
Yes.
What does it hurt to run him deep? I mean, a lot during the game. You're going to get either double covered or you're going to beat the guy, right?
Jay, not only is he track fast, he's actually already proven himself every time he's played this year.
Do you think he didn't get as much playing time because if he goes deep, I mean, Gabriel didn't have the strongest arm.
He was underthrown several times. He made some good catches this year. I do think he's a spotty guy. I don't think he's an every down guy.
I don't either. But if you put him in, listen, there is no way a defensive back is going to sit there 5 yards off him and not be freaking out when he goes out. They think he's going to blow right by him because he will blow right by him. So you're going to get a double cover.
And
I agree, Chief T-Bird. Chief T-Bird, I agree with you.
I do want to see a little Caleb Hicks, and I wouldn't mind seeing Javonte Barnes to see if maybe he's back as far as from the injury. I don't know. Lane, I hope you're kidding on that.
He's being sarcastic. What about Petaway? Any chance?
I wouldn't mind seeing Petaway either. On the defensive side of the ball, we've said this before. I want more Grayson Halton tomorrow just to see. I want more PJ Adebawore. And I want more Peyton Bowen or RSJ. Either one of those guys.
Yeah. Ricky, good point. Very good point, Ricky.
I understand Xavier Robinson and Tatum could be the future, but Caleb Hicks next year could be a huge backup for you. Now, also, they have the Sam Franklin there.
Hey, anybody on defense, you think?
I mean, there's three guys I mentioned.
On defense.
I mentioned Grayson Halton, Peyton Bowen, and PJ Adebawore.
Yeah, and Bowen, maybe he's healthy now. Maybe.
Got to be now. Jimmy says Josiah Wagner.
We heard a lot about him in the offseason.
Who's he going to play for, though? Gentry and Woody are locked down on those corners.
Ricky, I would love to see that, but I don't think it's going to happen. Not this year.
There's no spot for
too many guys.
Lewis Carter. Is Lewis Carter a guy that could get to the edge or be Cheetah?
I don't think so. I think he's true linebacker. Hey, are you going to watch USC or A&M and OSU tomorrow?
I'm leaning A&M OSU.
Hey, tell me this. Why is Ollie Gordon staying at OSU?
Is he?
He hasn't entered the portal.
Oh, I thought he did enter the portal.
I don't think he entered.
Oh, I was thinking he was intending to enter the portal.
Intending, but I don't think he's entered.
Well, maybe he knows where he wants to go. He's going to have a killer game and then go.
Yeah, the Boone Pickens Trust Fund's exactly right. I think that was all fake about the intended, maybe, Jeremy.
Oh, someone said he announced today he's staying.
Okay, I didn't see that. I've been busy, but there it is. I'm glad we talked about it then. That's shocking to me. Shocking.
Sheik's going to be at the OSU A&M game. Yeah. If you don't protect now on the O-line, there's guys, Jay, that are going to play that haven't played at all this year. The center is going to be brand new. So, man, everyone's bashing the go-go offense. There you go.
Looking worse and worse, isn't
Hunter and Jay, you guys wanted it.
What's up, C-Lit?
Jay wanted it. Hunter wanted it. Not me, though. Seth Luttrell all the way.
Hey, C-Lit, appreciate you so much. First live. Here we go. You guys showed up on my feed about a month ago. Been watching replay since. First live I've caught. Love the show. Barnes needs snaps just to see if he's still a viable option. Dude was nasty. That's
C-Lit.
right.
C-Lit. That's what I was saying earlier. I agree with that because you get Barnes a few carries. I'm saying maybe 5-6 carries at least to see if he is a viable option. If not,
okay,
you move on.
Hey, Here's the thing I would probably be most excited to see Thursday night. Sawchuk and Barnes together.
I don't care who, just two guys together in the
Two
backfield.
backs. Do it.
Someone,
two backs.
Hey,
Just
someone
do it.
earlier mentioned Stogner. I think Stogner's going to have a good game. I think
Yeah.
Stogner's going to have a really good game.
What's up, Chief? Appreciate it,
Chief,
bro.
Thanks, man. Thanks, Chief T-Bird. As always, we really appreciate you so much. Thanks for the super. And let's look at this. If Brennan Thompson is on the field with Anderson and a healthy Anthony, who do you double? And that makes the field wide open. And here's the other thing, Chief T-Bird. Then you throw in the sharp tight end or Devon Mitchell. It is scary, scary, scary. But the O-line.
Here's
the O-line. O-line key.
Hey, in that scenario, Chief, I think the one guy you have to double cover, I think you have to double cover Brennan Thompson. It's a home run threat. And with Jackson Arnold, guys, DG's biggest problem on the deep ball, he waited too long to throw it. He didn't have the arm strength. If he waited too long, it couldn't get it there, man. It just couldn't.
Hey, and Dalpos is right. People hated on Barnes. I mean, he battled back from injury. Looked okay in the last game he played, but then he fumbled the snap. Shouldn't even have called that play. But Jay,
Ron,
someone.
Who are you talking about, Ron? Are you talking about the Wyatt Gilmore?
Yeah, Wyatt Gilmore is what he's talking about.
Crystal, you guys' disagreement with Lincoln wasn't leaving USC this offseason. Still, wait. I've been saying he was probably going to the Chargers. Are you saying he's staying?
Jay's been saying he's going to be the Chargers head coach.
I think you were saying, Jeremy, that you thought he'd stay another year.
Well, I didn't know if anyone would want him in the NFL, Jay.
Who are we talking about from Minnesota?
Wait, so Crystal thinks he's staying? At this point, Jay and I both think he's going to the NFL.
And hey, this may be the truth. Maybe people are like, don't know how good a coach he is, right?
Is he going to be the Cliff Kingsbury in the NFL? I don't know. Even
Will
Howard
the same
didn't go
tree.
there. Who's their quarterback going to be next year?
Is Caleb Williams playing tomorrow?
No, he's not playing.
Was he there though? He's there with the team.
I'm sure he's with the team.
I didn't think he was playing, but I was surprised he was even there. But
this is a great assessment. It's a great evaluation. Barnes is not patient enough. He does hit the hole a little ahead, where Kennedy Brooks was definitely patient. And Gavin Sawchuk is really patient. Sawchuk is really patient.
Hey, I got a hot take.
Let's hear it.
Miller Moss will have better stats than Caleb Williams.
Tomorrow night?
No, next year. And listen to me for a second. Lincoln Riley does better with less talented quarterbacks than he does with the studs. Go look at it.
He did pretty good with Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield's not the most talented quarterback, Jeremy. Come on.
He's the number one draft pick, Jay.
Because Lincoln, he's
Jeremy, pretty good.
He's a walk-on. I'm talking about 5-star quarterbacks, Jeremy.
Oh, you're talking about – look, Baker Mayfield and Kyler Murray both were great under Lincoln Riley. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Wow.
Jeremy, it's not dumb. Spencer Rattler, Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams was good with him his first year, and Caleb Williams won the Heisman at USC, dude. What are you talking about? I'm going to lose my ever-loving mind right now.
Okay,
I'm going to lose my ever-loving mind at you.
What's ever-loving?
All mind? Of it, Jay. All of it. Now, Sooner fan, your hot take is better. Caleb Williams isn't as good as people thought they were. And I think Crystal's spot on. Maybe naturally gifted. Baker Mayfield doesn't have the size, but he is an elite quarterback.
I'm talking about guys he recruited. They have not panned out, Jeremy. None of them.
Well, if you're going to say guys he recruited, you're absolutely right. Because he didn't recruit Baker. He didn't recruit Kyler.
Jeremy,
Jalen Hurts came to OU because of Lincoln Riley.
Yeah, listen, Baker Mayfield is incredible. Not just was incredible. They were great.
Jay, here's one thing you got to understand. Caleb Williams, if he would have been OU, they would have been in the playoff. if Caleb Williams had OU's offensive line, it would have been unbelievable.
Jeremy,
USC's offensive line was horrible.
What is that? What? I got to go to this.
Austin Kendall.
What is? No way. What is this? Baker Mayfield is cool, but Jeremy, say Jeremy like that again.
What'd you say, Germ or something?
I don't know.
They do Pilates really well at USC.
I'm not. So yeah. Tanner Mordecai is another one he recruited. Tanner Mordecai is okay, but
there's been a lot of good walk-ons that look. And regardless, Jay, I don't know why we're talking about Lincoln Riley.
Yeah, that was a bad.
I think Lincoln Riley's gone, but we'll see tomorrow what they look like. I don't know about you guys. How pumped are you right now for this OU game? The rally was tonight in San Antonio. It's getting pump time right now.
Jeremy, are you more pumped this year or last year's game?
I could way better this year
because of Jackson Arnold.
Honestly, Jay, last year
and Seth Luttrell. That's the big one.
Last year, everyone wanted to see Sawchuk a little bit in that game, and we saw it. This year, everyone wants to see Jackson Arnold. We're going to see it. I hope he has a great game. I think it all hinges. Every bit of it hinges on the 5 up front.
Hey, the closer this game gets, I agree with Ron. I'm not feeling real confident that our defense is going to shut them down. Are you?
They're really good, Jay.
They're really good offensively.
Now, I will say this:
their quarterback is really
Venables
good.
When Venables has a lot of time to prep, usually that he's hard to beat.
True.
And that's one thing you got to think about. Last year, Florida State, I don't remember the final in that game, but didn't we hold the quarterback okay?
Yeah. Yeah, he had a pretty good game, but do you think this guy's the second best quarterback OU's played this year? I saw that in the chat.
Let's see. Who in the Big 12 would be better than him?
I mean, Quinn Ewers.
Okay, there's one.
That's a for sure. I thought the guy, he's not better than him, but I thought the guy at SMU was really good. He's not better than him.
Yeah, he's probably the second best quarterback they've played.
Probably is, Hunter. That's a good point. But he's the best dual threat quarterback they faced by far.
Yeah, and it's going to be a good test. And I do think, and we'll get all the nuts and bolts tomorrow night for this game. So I really
hope
is this
you guys. About?
What?
Wait, I got to go to this. What is this? Bowman sucks. Hunter, why? Hunter, are you saying Bowman sucks?
Hunter's talking about Alan Bowman from OSU. Yeah, he's not talking about Billy Bowman. Alan Bowman. We were talking about quarterbacks in the Big 12.
Hey, Jeremy, before we get off here, tomorrow's December 27th, one day before the bowl game. Is OU getting a portal guy?
Yes, I'm going to say it every day until they do.
Who? Give me a name.
I'll go with okay, I'm going to give you 2 names. You hear it? Ready for it? Now, I did say OU receiver is going to hit the portal. I was right on that. I may be wrong on this. I'm going to say they're going to get Geno Vandermark, and I'm going to say they're getting the Albany Edge.
Wow. Okay.
There you go. There you have it. Hey, I will say this. Tomorrow night, the entire live, it's going to be breaking down this game, guys. We're gonna want your comments. We're going to ask questions about who do you have as your Sooner standout for the game. Who do you have? One hot take. All these things. We're going to have polls for you tomorrow night for you to vote, for you to drop things in the chat. I think it might find a little while to get him a rhythm. I think they try to get him in a rhythm early, though, Crystal. So it's going to be exciting. But tomorrow night, 9:30, I got to say so much thanks to Crystal Calendar. Again, Crystal, thanks so much for the $25 super and for being on here. And also to Chief T-Bird again.
Chief, appreciate it. Yeah, both of you.
$9.99. So
means a lot. Does
means a whole lot. Thanks so much.
Yeah. Somebody just asked about after the game. Let's talk about our plan for after the game.
Yes, let's do that. We will be going live after the game. Whether that's 11:30, midnight, 12:30, 1 a.m. We will be live for about 45 minutes as always. You guys are Sooner fans like us. No one's going to go to bed after the game. You got to sit here and either talk about how bad it was or how great it was. but we will be on right after the game. So you know where to find us. Make sure you're subscribed. Before the game, I know Hunter's going to be at the game. Jay, I don't know if you'll be available before the game. I will be available before the game. We'll for sure have some content before the game, videos and other things. Maybe even do a live before the game.
I might be able to do a live right before the game. So,
but yeah, thanks so much, everyone. Again, can't say enough about all of you guys for being on here. There's a bold take. Save that for tomorrow, Purple Orca.
Coming at you, bro. Coming at you.
Oh, hey, open the live tomorrow with that chat, please. With that chat, Purple Orca. That should be the first thing we talk about tomorrow, because I got to say something about that. But there's Chief T-Bird asking a great question. Maybe. We'll see. Save it for tomorrow night, guys. Thanks so much. Appreciate all of you. Again, thanks to Crystal for the super and Chief T-Bird. We appreciate you all. Till next time. Boomer.
Sooner.